friends, it's Miss Wilson again. We are going to do a little spiraled review. All right, so this is actually a concept that we would have done a whole lot more of had we been able to stay in school during the spring. So in the event that you don't remember, I want you to look at this real quick. We had a saying, all of our math teachers, Miss Josie and Miss Clark and I, PEMDAS. Or I called it GEMDAS. It's the same thing. This stands for parentheses. Or if you say grouping symbols, it's the same thing. So if you have parentheses, or like if you look over here, you're going to see a different type of grouping symbol, which are called braces. So there are other types of grouping symbols. You have, I'm just going to make notes down here in this white space. So you have parentheses, you have brackets, and you have what's called braces, in which that's what you see right there. And you'll see those every now and then. All of those mean whatever's inside sticks together. So you look at those first, and that's why it's right here. These are grouping symbols or parentheses. You could use brackets again or braces. Okay. Now the E is for exponents. Now in 5th grade, we don't use exponents. That's what we do in 6th grade, but we haven't gotten there yet. So I'm not going to do a spiraled review on exponents, which you haven't learned. So that's not something we're going to go over just yet. So this is multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So these go together, and these go together. Okay, this is a set of rules that I'm sure that you may start going, oh yeah, I think I remember something like that. If you have your journal from last year, go ahead and pull that out. You might have some notes on that. But it's very important because these give you the rules for following mathematical equations or solving mathematical equations using rules. It's very important. So I want you to take out a pencil and paper and write down this expression exactly as you see it, even the parentheses. Okay, so pause the video, take out your pencil and paper, and write this down, and then push play. Okay, so hopefully, I just paused my video and started back up again. Hopefully you have written this down, and let's start thinking about what this means. I'm going to go ahead and write this up and down, parentheses or grouping symbols, exponents, and then we have a multiplication or division, whichever comes first from left to right. Then we have addition, subtraction, again, whichever comes first from left to right. Okay, so we'll talk about that more as we go through the problem. Okay, I'm going to pull out my highlighter. All right, so let's look at this first. Okay, parentheses. Do we see any parentheses in this problem? What this means, this is a list of rules that we need to look at first, next, and then last. Okay, I see parentheses right here, so I'm going to highlight what's in the parentheses. What that means is that's what I have to do first. So what is 21? That's your focus. What is 21 divided by 3? If you said 7, you are absolutely correct. So what I'm going to do is rewrite the whole entire expression with 7 substituting for this value right here. So we have 8 plus, and then this value right here was 7 minus 5. Okay, so let's look at our signs now. We have addition and subtraction. So do we have any exponents? No, we're not doing that just yet. We're not. Do we have any multiplication? This is first, this is next, this is next. Do we have any multiplication or division? No. So this is out for this problem. Do we have any addition or subtraction? Yes, we do. So we have to go from left to right, whichever comes first. So if we solve this from left to right, we have to do what first? We have to do 8 plus 7 first. So what is 8 plus 7? Because remember, we're going from left to right. What's 8 plus 7? You're right, it's 15. and then we rewrite whatever is left over. 15 minus 5 is 10. So that would be our solution to that expression. If we turn this into an equation, we could say equals 10. But if we're going to simplify this expression, we would simplify this to 10. What all of this means, it's a value of 10. All right. Now I'm actually not going to do, oh my goodness gracious. I'm losing my eraser each time. Okay, I'm not going to do this problem because this is 2 levels of grouping symbols, and we did not get to that for sure. We will get to that later. Okay, so maybe I'll just do that last as an extension. Okay. Now, depending on where you put your grouping symbol, it will completely change the outcome of your expression. Okay, so this says add 1 set of parentheses to make the expression simplify to 30. Now, I want you to watch how cool this is. All right, so what we can do, let's say, well, what if we put parentheses right here? Well, what is 45 minus 2? Well, you've got your ones places here. That'd be 43. And then this dot right here, that means multiply. There are several different ways to show multiplication, and one of them looks like that. It's like a dot in the middle of your paper. If you had a row right here, and you were writing on the line of your notebook paper, if it was down low, it'd be a decimal, wouldn't it? But that's not what we're doing here. This is in the middle, so that's actually means multiplication. Okay, so times 20. Well, gosh, 43 times 20, that's going to be a pretty large number. Divided by 4 minus 5. Okay, let's see what we've got here. 43 times 20. We've got what I call a hangout 0. We could just leave that out to the side and then multiply what's left. 3 times 2 is 6, and then there's 860. Oh gosh, that's a lot. Okay, because we have multiplication and division, and that always comes first. So, oh gosh, I didn't write this down. Let's do PEMDAS. Okay, we did not have any parentheses, but I made them. So yeah, we did that part. We don't have exponents. We're doing multiplication or division, whichever comes first from left to right. So we have multiplication. So we have 860 divided by 4 minus 5. Okay. Do we still have multiplication or division? Yes, we do. We have division. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Let's see, 860 divided by 4. Okay, God, this is a really big number. Let's see, that's 8. We got 1 and then 20. That's 215 minus 5. Do you really think that's going to simplify all the way down to 30? No, that's 210. Oh no, that's not what we want whatsoever. Okay, so we need to start from scratch. All right, let's see. I'm trying to erase it all. Let's see. Clear all. All right, let's move this back up. Okay, so let's try again. We know we cannot put parentheses here. So let me put parentheses here and see what happens. Okay, we said that our rule for solving equations or expressions, simplifying them in order, rules of math, we need to find parentheses first. So if I put parentheses here, I'm going to have to solve that first. So I'd have to solve 2 times 20. And what is 2 times 20? 2 groups of 20 is 40. So we're going to rewrite the whole entire expression from left to right in order, just substituting this value for what it's worth. And 2 times 20 is 40. So let's rewrite 45 minus 40 divided by 4 minus 5. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now we've already solved our parentheses part. Do we have exponents? No. We don't even know what those are yet. Do we have multiplication or division? Yes, we have this division right here. So we're going to have to solve this part next. Okay. All right. So what is 40 divided by 4? Well, 40 divided by 4 is 10. So let's rewrite. We have 45 minus 10 minus 5. Well, let's see. What is 45 minus 10? Now, if you didn't know that right across the or off the top of your head, what can you do? You can always rewrite up and down vertically. Okay, so 5 minus 0 is 5, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So this value right here is 35, correct? So I'm going to write that down right here, and then I'll write 35 minus 5. Now, do we have any multiplication or division from left to right? No, we don't have any whatsoever. We're done with all of that. Do we have addition or subtraction? Yes, and I should have said that right up here. But we do have subtraction. What's 35 minus 5? It is 30. And do we get what we were looking for? So when it said, add one set of parentheses to make the expression simplify to 30. Well, did we get our goal of 30? Yes. So where did the parentheses have to go? Right here. Okay. Let's try another one if you're totally mind blown, because I know some of this we did not get into. Remember, we're going to have a lot of things to catch up on this year. So just replay this, stop and pause and think about it for a minute, and go back and play it again. I'm going to do this next problem and we'll talk about it. We'll talk through it, and we're still going to do some more. So don't panic, okay? There's no panicking. It's going to be all right. Okay, it says add one set of parentheses, those are parentheses, to make the expression simplify to 1. Okay, so again, we need to write our rules of equations, order of operations. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is parentheses. Well, let's place some because they're telling us to put in a set of parentheses to change the outcome of this expression. Well, I always tell kids to start from left to right. Let's go ahead and just try this. Let's take those first two values and put parentheses around them and see what happens. All right, so 14 plus 28. Now, if you're not comfortable adding side to side and you make mistakes doing that, I would suggest that you always line them up according to place value. So 8, that's 12, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this value is 42. If we place parentheses there, that always comes first. Do we have exponents? No, we're not doing that yet. Do we have any multiplication or division in this problem? Once we've rewritten this and rewritten the rest of the problem, do we have multiplication or division? Yes. Excuse me, we have division. So we're going to go ahead and solve this part of the problem because that comes first. Multiplication and division always come before addition or subtraction, even if it's the end of the expression. So 42 divided by 7 is 6. And let's rewrite the rest of our expression in order, always. So do we have any more multiplication or division? No, we're done. Do we have any addition or subtraction? Yes, we have subtraction. 6 minus 5 is 1. So that simplifies to 1. So lucky for us, we had one experiment to do. We just put our parentheses around the first two numbers and we came out with our expression simplifying to 1. That is fabulous. Hey, you're welcome to pause the video now and go on to the next one. Or if you'd like some enrichment or going forward, please stay tuned. I'm going to do this next one with 2 levels of grouping symbols. Go ahead and pause the video, take a break, maybe rewind what we just did and try to digest that in your mind. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Those of you who are troopers and wanted to stay and watch this craziness, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the rules. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you might hear that. You might have heard that last year. All right. So it says to simplify the following. Now, a lot of us think of simplifying with fractions. Well, that's true. What we're doing when we simplify something is we're making it into the easiest form to think about. Now, this looks confusing. We want one final number. It's easy for us to think about in our mind what one final number is. And there's so many infinite ways to represent any numeric value. This represents a mystery number. Now, I want to know what that is. I want to know what our mystery, ooh, goodness gracious, mystery value. What is that mystery value? All right, so let's look. Do we have parentheses? Yes, we do, but we have these crazy things right here called braces. Now, those are also grouping symbols. That's one reason why I like to use the term PEMDAS, which means grouping symbols come first. So no matter what, if you see grouping symbols, you're supposed to stop, drop, and solve. Now, I see parentheses, which are types of grouping symbols inside other grouping symbols. What that means is everything inside this part of the problem should be solved first, okay? So if we had a problem that didn't have any of this, this would be kind of like what we just did, okay? This represents one value, and then we're going to subtract, subtract the value of 9 times 2. That's a multiplication sign. So we need to be really careful with how we solve this problem because it does get a little bit more complicated. All right, so let's look at this. We have one value right here. So let's solve what's inside those brackets according to these rules. So do we have parentheses inside of these brackets or braces? Yes. We have 36 divided by 6. So we're going to do that first because that's part of this section. Okay, so 36 divided by 6 is 6. Let's rewrite what's inside these braces because that still has to be first. Now that's not a decimal, remember. Not a decimal, because if this was writing on notebook paper, for instance, this is not down here on the line as a decimal. It's a multiplication symbol. All right. So we still have grouping symbols. So we're going to put this together. All right, so 6 plus 14 is 20. So this is what's in our grouping symbols. It's just a number by itself, so we don't need to keep those grouping symbols anymore. It's just that number. But we're going to rewrite what's left over in order. Very important. Okay, so do we have any more grouping symbols? No. Do we have exponents? No, we're not doing that yet. Do we have any more multiplication or division? Yes. Now, don't let this fool you. That is a multiplication symbol. So we do have multiplication going on. So we actually have to solve this first. So what is 9 times 2? It's 18. All right. So we're still going to write this in order. So we have 20 minus 18. Do we have any more multiplication or division? No. Do we have addition or subtraction? Yes, we have subtraction. So what's 20 minus 18? It is 2. So wildly enough, all of this is equal to a very simple number called 2. All right, so just pause this video. It's going to be okay. Don't freak out. Life is great. We're going to learn more about this as we go along, okay? I promise. So it's going to be fine. I will talk to y'all in just a few minutes with dividing decimals.